Hi, I'm Susan Kennard, and I thought I would do a process with you today around healing those relationships outside of you because they are literally a reflection of the love you have for yourself. So, if you think about the relationships you have outside of yourself and how are they feeling to you, whether it's your partner, whether it's a work colleague, whether it's somebody in a shop that you go to, or whether it's one of your family members, just think about how it makes you feel. And many of the times that I work with people around relationships, essentially what they're doing is they're looking at somebody and saying, oh, that person's done that to me, this is how I feel about it, but they're not actually looking at why that's represented in their life. Why is it that actually that relationship is coming up to be healed? And the reason why it's coming up to be healed is so that you can be a brighter, more sparkly person. So what that means is that your field of light that you have around you is expanding and reflecting back. So each person that you have in your world is a little bit of a reflection of your own vibrational field. So if, for example, a job changes or starts to kind of feel like it's outgrowing you or you're outgrowing the job, then you know it's because the vibration and the energy don't match. And it's the same with relationships. So many people recently that I've been working with relationships have found that by doing this particular process that I'm going to do with you, it's really exciting. When we do this process, actually, we're cutting the ties of all of the times that we've had relationships with that person. So not just in this lifetime, but across time and dimension and other experiences that we've had, sometimes not even in form, sometimes just as a light body or a different form completely. So they're coming up in this moment in time for us to look at how do we feel about ourselves and what is it that we need to tweak, okay? So many of the times we have contracts with that person, we have contracts with the collective, and quite often these contracts that we have are really holding us back. So one of the things that's been coming up a lot for me with clients is the married to God. So if you think you're married to someone, but if you've got something running in your field that says that you're actually married to God, imagine how that really affects you, okay? Because you can't quite commit because you've got the guilt and the shame and everything else that's running that stops you from fully committing. And the word that the guides are giving me now is intimacy. And intimacy is into me, I see. So quite often when we've got these contracts running and are married to God or contracts of suffering or whatever it might be that we've chosen to hold for the collective, then that will play out in our relationships, okay? So I'm just going to have a look and see who is on. Oh, Marie's on, brilliant. And Janice and Nick and Catherine, Monica, lovely to see you all. So does it make sense to you that the reflections that you're getting back from the relationships you have within you, so it's your mother, your father, your grandparents, the partner that you're with, someone you're just about to get married to, someone that you maybe just about to get divorced to, or you're thinking of getting divorced to, I would definitely suggest that you clear the contracts and you clear this relationship before you get divorced. I would also suggest that you clear the relationship before you get married or enter into any relationships. So it's really, really cool when you have this ability to do it, because you literally can just, across all timelines in the Akashic records, you can actually see what's going on. Well, I can actually see what's going on for you in your relationship. But let's just do this generically. Let's just give you this process. So the guides really guided me to do this with you because it's really important that now we take our power back. And many of the times we've been in narcissistic relationships, or we've been in relationships where we've actually given our power away. And this is the time now for us to realize that we need to take back our power as women, as men, as aspects of ourselves, we really need to stand in empowerment in relationships. And so have a look outside of your life now, see who it is you really feel you need to cut the ties with. And what I will say is that whoever it is, if you're married to them, the marriages that we're clearing are the marriages from time before, okay? So we're not nulling your marriage that you're in now, we're not clearing it, we're not culling it. What we're doing is we're clearing everything from time before, okay? So if everyone feels safe with that, what I don't want to do is put anyone in fear and feel that, you know, this is cutting their marriage, or literally just you know, those binds and those vows that you made this time. So don't feel that, okay? But it does clear vows and oaths and marriages to God and things like that you've made in previous times. So I just want to just check in before we do this process, and it's called cutting the ties that bind. And if you really love this process, if you really love it, there's a way that you can actually get all my processes that I do, and I will leave a link below where you can actually get the book that I've written, which is called Sparkle to Success, and all the audios that I've created and I've channeled. So I take you through each one of my processes, but I'll leave that at the bottom. Okay, so taking responsibility for your own well-being, if you can, put your hands on your heart. I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Brilliant. And I want you just to imagine that there's a star underneath your feet, and there's a star above your head. And I want you to imagine that there's a beam of light coming down from one star to the other star. And one is a soul star and one is an earth star. And I want you to see the earth star going further into Mother Earth, into Gaia, grounding you. And I want you to see your soul star raising up and rising up way into the universe and the multiverse. Brilliant. And I want you to imagine that beam of sparkling light coming down, protecting you, allowing you to feel safe and secure. Good. And now I want you to invite in to your consciousness the person that you wish to cut the ties with. Okay? Knowing that you're completely safe and that this is really just on a soul level. So it's very deep work. It's on a soul level, and just get a sense of that person stepping in. You may see a picture of them, you know, you may have a photograph of them as well. And I just want to say that actually you can do this with somebody who's passed as well. So if somebody's passed, you can actually cut the ties with them as well, and that will free them as well. Okay, good. So just get that person in and just have a sense of how it feels when you look at them and how they look at you. How does it feel when you connect with that? Just have a look at that and just check how that feels to you. Good. Brilliant. And what I'm hearing from the guys is that some of you will feel responsible for that person. Some of you will feel that responsibility for healing them. Again, this is quite strong. I'm hearing this quite strongly. So maybe either people on the call now or people listening to recording afterwards. There's a feeling of responsibility. I'm feeling like it's your job to make sure that they're okay, all right? And this always comes from childhood. It's always something that we feel we're responsible for everyone else and healing the world. Okay, so we're just going to generically bring in a beam of light for that person. So if I was doing this with you bespokely or individually, we would work with specifics that this person needs to heal. But we're just going to bring in a beam of light. So imagine in front of them is a beautiful beam of light, and within that beam of light we're going to fill it, not you, but we, myself and my team, are going to fill it with unconditional love, pure connection to source, that they never feel separated, empowerment, freedom and peace. Okay, good. Oh, actually there's another one, clarity of heart, knowing that they can feel clear in their heart. Good, excellent. So we're going to invite them to step into that beam of light and receive all of that healing. So not only are you healing yourself, you're also helping the other person heal, because they are you and you are them, as I am you and you are me. Okay, good. All right, brilliant. So how does it feel now when you look at them? Do they look a different way to you? Do you feel a different sense now that they've received what they needed to receive? Okay, just acknowledge it and see what happens. Okay. And the next step is for us to cut the ties. Okay. So what you would say is their name, or if it was mum or dad, and then from a place of pure unconditional love. So go ahead and say their name, or mum and dad, or whatever you call them. From a place of pure unconditional love. Today I choose to set myself free. Okay. As I set myself free, I set you free too. I choose to forgive myself as I choose to forgive you. I choose to release any unwanted emotions, any resentment or anger, any feelings of fear, any pacts or agreements, any vows or oaths, any old contracts, written or verbal, any old marriages, any shackles or ties, any sacrifices, any religious orders, I'm hearing betrayal, any betrayals, any false imprisonments, across all timelines, all dimensions, any time at all, past, present, future. I choose to release this all now so that I can be free and so can they. Okay, so take a deep breath and just see how it feels now. When you look at them and they look at you. Fantastic. Has it changed? Okay, without judgment. So now is your opportunity, and I'm going to take you through it, to be able to say anything that you feel you haven't been able to say to this person. And it could be from childhood, it could be how you feel from childhood. I feel there are many people that will be releasing aspects of themselves from childhood. So there must be lots of mothers and fathers here that people are healing. But also anything that you feel you've said before, where you would have said it from the vibration of holding all of those past lives with that person, all of those contracts. So ordinarily, if I was working with you individually, I would see in your Akashic records, like a video screen, and I would see all those lifetimes that you've had together, and the specific ones would be shown to me that we need to heal. But from the purpose of this, just generically so that you can all receive, I want you just to say the name of the person, or mum and dad, and then the same from a place of pure unconditional love. And then I feel. And I want you to do it in the first person. And I want you to say everything you feel. And I'm just going to hold the space for you so that you can do that now. Mm. Brilliant. And there may be more for you to say, and that's okay because you can watch this again. But usually what people find is that by releasing how they felt, they're able to say for the first time the words that they haven't been able to say. And sometimes it's easier to say it with the person there in their consciousness on the higher level, and their higher self and their soul level, than saying it to someone physically in their human form, because you're really speaking to their soul. And they know already what they came in to do with you, why they're showing up in your world now, why you chose to have this experience with them. Okay, so you can go on longer if you choose to, but you can watch this again, do it again. But what I want you to do now is just listen to what that person may say back. So just take a second, just listen. What would they say to you? And just receive what they said to you. Okay. And then the next step would be you can either bring that person into your heart with love and thanks and gratitude, or you can send them off. So just do that now, whatever feels right, and everything is perfect. Okay, good. Brilliant. And come back to me. So in a bespoke individual session, we would find out the contract, the real reason for why you came together, what you're learning together in this lifetime, clear specific contracts together, if you're soulmates or twin flames or whatever you've chosen to come in to do together. So we clear that specifically. But from this perspective, it is enough to really sow the seeds that you can speak from your heart and clear all those agreements, those pacts, those lifetimes, those experiences that you've had before that you didn't even know that were running in your field. So of course, when you are living your life, we feel all of those contracts, all of those agreements, all of those lifetimes. You know how it is when you meet someone and you just know that you've known them before? Well, yes, you have known them before. Yeah? They've come into your experience before to show you just a little bit more about yourself. And how much do I love myself? How much do I value myself? Does that make sense? So that's one of the processes from Sparkle to Success. It's called Cutting the Ties That Bind. There are many more, including forgiveness, a forgiveness letter, and clearing your energy field of entities and waywards and watchers that stop you from being your best self in this world, and taking you through all those processes. So feel free, I will put the link below if you would like to buy it. It's just £77 at the moment. It's normally £300, so I'm pretty much giving it away for this summer. But I just want to hear what people have said. So anyone want to actually report what they experience? Zoe's on here. Zoe's part of my group call. Actually, I want to tell you about my group call as well. So I run a monthly group healing call where we do many different types of healing. Well, we're healing lining up for your mission, we're healing relationships, we're healing childhood, we're doing many things in our group call, and that's every Wednesday once a month in the evening at 8 p.m. UK time, and it's on Zoom, and I'll put the link there as well if you're interested in joining that, and that's £33 a month for you to join that. There's a private Facebook group for that as well. So is anybody tell me about their experience, what they had there? Many of the things that I just feel guided to say, many of the things that come up when we do this work with relationships is that child part of us. So that child part of us that kind of just never felt worthy or didn't feel that they were valued, and so then they attract somebody into their world that shows them that, you know, that might treat them not so nicely, badly, narcissistic relationships, abusive relationships sometimes, and repeating patterns. You know, repeating patterns are amazing because they'll just keep repeating until we heal that part of us that stops repeating it. So, you know, essentially it's our work, you know, what is showing up in our world now is a reflection of the work that we need to do on ourselves. So if you feel drawn to work with me, you can find me on susankennard.co.uk. You can find my website and you can see all the different services that I offer, where you can book packages with me, or you can do individual sessions, one-to-one, be on my group calls, do home study, whatever you choose to do. And so join my newsletter so that you can find out about all my offers that come up. But I will leave this link below. So let me have a look. Okay, so who's here? Does anybody want to? Sometimes on these chats they don't show you the messages until quite a bit later, so I get them a bit later on. I'm on my PC at the moment, but on my phone I might see the messages. So feel free if you want to say hi, because I'm really happy to reply to any questions you have and any thoughts and anything that came up from that. And if you've got an estranged relationship, so meaning that you're not in contact with someone, by doing this work, by healing, cutting the ties that bind, and being able to speak from your heart, you're able to actually heal that relationship. And it is possible, and it has happened many times, where people get in contact with children, loved ones that have been estranged for a long time, where they get in contact, and it's because they feel that healing from you, and they feel the cutting of those old vows and oaths and contracts that no longer serve you. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to have a look one more moment and just see if anyone is leaving any comments. I'm just going to look on my phone actually. Okay, so let's just have a look and just see. All right. And if you want to leave any messages, I will try my best to reply to them. Okay. So much love for now. I'll put the links below for you to join my group call. With the next one's the 12th of August. And they're all recorded as well. So if you can't attend live, I'll send you a recording. And if you're interested in Sparkle to Success, which I used to run as a physical training, and then it went into an online training, and now it's actually a home study training, so you can actually do it yourself. And feel free to contact me about that. So I'll leave the link below. Okay, so much love. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be with you for another process, I expect, at some point. Lots of love. Bye-bye.